it's Laticia Gibson here. I am joined by Michaela Corona, and I am excited because it's so nice to see a young country changer. And no offense to the previous country changers and tree changers that we've interviewed, but Michaela, you're in your 20s, you've moved to Narrandera. I'm really excited about sharing your story. So, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. When did you move to Narrandera?
Hi, Laticia. So I moved to Narrandera in February this year. I moved from Sydney. I just needed a big change. So I just came to a point in my job and my life where I wanted different scenery. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to be challenged. And I just kind of hit that wall with work where it was just becoming too much. It was just a very intense environment all the time. And I always had a little entrepreneurial angel on my shoulder that said, you want to work for yourself and you want to do your own thing. So I guess I just took the leap. It was a bit, what's the word, like out of nowhere. I thought about it for maybe a month before I did it. So, yeah.
So you've gone from being an employee in Western Sydney to jumping in, like, how many kilometres is that? Well, it's a 5-hour drive, isn't it, from Sydney to Narrandera? And then just dive into opening your own cafe. Tell me how that all happened.
It sounds so crazy now that you say that, but honestly, it was very casual at the start. Dad approached me in September last year, and I said, no way. I was like, no, Dad, hell no. Like, I'm never going to live in the country. You've been trying to convince me to move here for 2 years. Like, no way, sorry. And then it just came to Christmas. All my family, my partner's family were all together. And we just I just got to the point where I was like, I love the work that I'm doing, but it's not, like, it's really detrimental to, more than just my daily life. So I said to Dad, like, let's do it. Like, let's do it. Let's use this opportunity as an opportunity. Let's renovate. Let's, bring something new to the town. We had heaps of feedback from people who said, the town needs the change. We need something different. We need new people. We need younger people. And I was like, okay, like, let's go. So
just to recap, so your father and your mum moved there a couple of years ago in 2018 from memory?
Yes. Yeah.
So they'd been nagging you to come to Narrandera. It's this amazing place. And obviously you'd visited in that time. So you'd been to Narrandera to find out what it's about.
Yeah.
Had you ever been to the Riverina prior to that?
Yeah. So my dad's a twin brother, and he used to live in Leeton, like 2012, something like that, before his job moved him to Mildura. So we used to come here when I was in high school and drive through the town. Never really stopped in Narrandera, but we were in Leeton and drove through and stuff like that. So I knew of the town before Mum and Dad even moved out this way, seen bits of it and stuff like that. So yeah, but Mum and Dad have been here for 3 years now. So
you'd had a bit of a taste test. So then your dad sees this rental property in a commercial space that has a whole bunch of cafe gear in it, but it's not set up. It's not a business. It's literally just a building with some equipment in it.
Yeah.
And he's had this bright idea to bring his daughter over from Sydney and set up this business at 22, mind you. Like, that's insane. I said this offline before, like, full credit to you, because that takes some guts to do that. And the fact that you've been operating, you've had your doors open for 5 months now, is it?
Yeah, since March. So not even 5 months yet.
So explain, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur as well, so I'm keen to know what's been the entrepreneurial journey for you? What's it been like so far? Because this is the first business you've run.
Yeah. So I've had management positions in 2 of my previous jobs. And I don't know, I guess now, looking back now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, this is so hard. Like, it's so hard. But it's the challenge that I needed, and it's guided me a lot. So, I mean, I'm still striving for something else, which I think is a good sign. I have huge ideas for the business where it can go, opening evenings. I have a little catering business that I did in Sydney, which was, I wouldn't really call it a business. I kind of just did it as a hobby and as a favor. So I always had this thing with food, and, you know, the cafe came up and I was like, well, great, like this can expose that, you know, little talent that I might have. And Dad's great with, you know, putting food together. I did baristaing for 4 or 5 years. So, you know, all came together. It's getting there. It's getting there.
So your dad works in the back? Is he the food meal guy? No?
Dad's not there at all. So he's still working full time. He's there on the weekends, and Mum's just across the road. So if I'm desperate, which I've only ever done once, Mum, I need your help. You need to come now. Yeah, when there's like not enough staff or anything like that. But I'm there full time, and Mum and Dad are just kind of in the background. So.
Oh, look, yeah. I mean, that's just amazing to be presented that opportunity and obviously have the guts and gumption to go after it. Do you think something like this would have ever been possible in Sydney?
No, I don't think I would have taken the leap. No way. I think I don't really think there is an opportunity to do that. There's so much competition in this kind of industry that small things would just be, no, thank you. Like, I'm good. There's cafes every 2 doors, no matter where you go. Like, the competition's already there. Whereas here, we've still got the competition, but I don't really compete with anyone. Like, we've got a different vision with food and coffee, and, you know, it's kind of just a different touch. So I don't really see that as competition. It's more so just to gain the experience, the challenge, and do my own thing. So
yeah, expanding on your own sort of flavor, so to speak.
Yeah.
And diving into I guess finding your own groove in a way. Yeah. And look, I hear this a lot where people move from the cities and they pursue their lifelong dream in creating their own business. And a common thing is that the overheads are so much lower. So the risk is lower, and it could, I guess, just encourages their ability to dive in. And it sounds like that was a similar story for you then.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea how you set up a business when we did this. I had no idea we had to sign a lease, to approach lawyers. I had no idea. Like, it was every day was something new that I'd learnt in the process of opening a business. And now I'm like, oh, you know, like, that's normal. But 6 months ago, I had no idea. Well, maybe 7 months ago. But yeah, it's insane the amount of knowledge you gain just from having the idea just to open something. And you don't know where to start. You're just like, well, where do I start? And it's like, well, I don't know, just start. Like,
just dive in.
Yeah. And ask me now, I have no idea how it came together. It's just all a massive blur to me. But yeah, it's getting there.
Well, it was clearly meant to be. And, you know, it's interesting. Excuse me. It's interesting to hear how quickly and easily it all happened for you. I'm not saying it happened, you know, it's been an easy road, because no business is ever easy. But, you know, it sounds like it's lots of things have fallen into place for you. Tell me, what's it been like as a young woman moving to a small community? Because like I said before, we interview a lot of people who have families in their 30s and 40s, or even retirees who move to smaller communities. And hear their recounts of it. What's it been like? I'm assuming you would have faced different challenges to what these other groups of people would have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I came from Sydney, where I had my friends, I had, you know, my plans. I did this, did that, and then you just change. You suddenly move somewhere. You have no plans. You have no friends. You've only got your parents, your pets, your bedroom, pretty much. And personally, I mean, I'm not speaking on behalf of everyone, but I don't like to meet new people. I don't like to, you know, I like to stay in my little bubble and keep it like that. I'm not really accustomed to change in terms of like on a personal level. So I had to step out of my shell. I had to go and network. I had to join the netball club. I had to find a way to meet people that weren't my customers, in a sense. And that took me probably 4 months to do that. So I was just going to work, coming home. It was just rinse and repeat cycle every day. And it was just, no, like this weekend is the time I need to go out. So yeah, I joined the netball club, and it's tough, especially when you don't, it's not easy for you to meet new people. So I definitely struggled, but coming out of your shell, in, it's good. It's good for young people to do that.
It sounds like it's really pushed you in every aspect of your life, personally, emotionally, psychologically, physically. I guess that's what can really do. And I'm sure it's been tough. I can imagine it would have been really scary and pretty isolating at times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, so it sounds like you've done lots of things to put yourself out there. Like you were saying, you've been to you've joined a netball team, which, by the way, if you don't know about country towns, they're obsessed with Aussie rules and netball. Like, if you are not, obsessed.
Did not know that.
And it is like every weekend, that's what you're doing during the season. And if you're not there, people are asking you why you're not there. It's a thing. But what I love, and I'm assuming Narrandra's the same, is after the matches, especially home games, everybody goes down to the pub, everybody hangs out and catches up, and that's a really beautiful way of getting to know people. And it can be very overwhelming. It can be very daunting. Yeah. Lots of people, and being the new girl, center of attention, I'm sure.
Yeah. That was really hard for me. To go out, because the first time I didn't know what would happen. I didn't know what would happen. I just thought no one really knew me. I knew like that they knew the cafe was there and all that stuff, but I didn't realize people knew my face, knew my name. It just kind of felt like everyone knew my life story. So the first time I went out, I hated it. I didn't want to go out again. I was like, Mum, everyone's calling me the business name. I was like, I have a name, So that was really, really tough, because anyone who spoke to me that first time I went out, it was all about the cafe. Yeah. And I just said to Mum, I was like, if I'm going to meet people, I don't want to talk about that. I want to meet people to, make friends and have connections. And so that was tough. But people are huge on their footy out here. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes. But I have to ask, your cafe name is Pretty Little Lattes. Did you create that name? And tell me, it's obviously spun, well, I hope it's spun from the show, Pretty Little Lies.
Yes, great show. That's how I love the name. Just thought it was like a little pun because there's coffee involved, and then, I don't know. Yeah, I love that show. So I was like, that'll do.
Did people get it, or is it still a good conversation starter?
With the oldies, yes, it's a great conversation starter. Everyone's like, oh, how'd you get the name, rah, rah. But the younger ones are like, oh, you got that from the show, or they're like, did you get that from the show? And it still sparks conversation. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So what is it about Narrandera? I mean, I know your parents were there, so it was kind of this natural segue to living there, but what is it that you like about the town or living there, aside from, the work and the challenges of meeting people and that sort of new exciting arena? It's a very, very beautiful location. Do you get out and about into any of the national parks, or what do you do aside from netball in your spare time?
Honestly, I've walked my street once and that was a day I locked myself out of the house. I had no choice. I had to walk. So that's like I haven't even gotten out yet. Apparently there's a really nice koala reserve and really nice things to do, but yeah, whoops, I haven't really taken the time to do that. I do love the community though. They're all so lovely and friendly, and everyone knows everyone, which I'm still adjusting to. I still think that's strange, but yeah, it's the lifestyle I always knew I would like. So
yeah. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions people have is that if you move to the country, life slows down and there's nothing to do. Yeah. It's not the case for you.
Not the case for me, but there's nothing else to do other than go to the pub, everyone reckons. So I've come to accept that.
Yeah. Well, fun is what you make it, right? You can I know when I lived out that way, dinner parties were the way to go, or bonfires, and creating those sorts of, you create that close group of friends, and then you make your own fun, and it's usually on the
Yeah.
property or going adventuring and nearby. And one thing I love about the Riverina, and it sounds like you're going to have to make a point of going out there, is every little area of the Riverina has a really unique flavor to it, in the sense that the landscape's really different, the environment, all of those sorts of things, the shops, the boutiques, the people, all of that sort of stuff. So, you could be going to Hay Plains, which is all flat desert, to
Yeah,
the
right.
snowy valleys, and they're snow capped, and it's so beautiful. And wild brumbies and all, although brumbies are a bit of a contentious subject, but they're still nice. There's so many, I guess it's really diverse, and that's what I still really, really appreciate about the Riverina.
Yeah.
Lots of tourist spots to go to. So you're literally, you're going to have to go exploring, and you're going to have to report
Yeah.
back.
Absolutely. Well, it's cold at the moment. So I don't think anyone's willing to do all these fun things at the moment. And that's another thing. It's so cold here. No one ever warned me of how cold it is. Because Sydney, I could still wear dresses. I could still wear singlets, go running in shorts. Nah, you can't do that here. It's like winter jackets all day. So
Yeah. It's an adaptation. I lived in Canberra, and I can tell you it's still not as cold as Canberra.
oh yeah, I
That's
have read that a couple times.
not my cup of tea. I only lasted a couple of years, but I definitely prefer it to have a warmer winter. But look, I think it's so inspiring that you've made that tree change, and I think it'll be really cool to follow your journey. So we'll be sharing your details of Pretty Little Lattes on Facebook, so people can follow your social channels, and it'd be great if you can, I guess, check in with us and give us an update on what's happening with your journey, because I think it's really inspiring, not just for young people, but other people old people like me, who, maybe too scared or to make that jump, and you're that person that gives them that inspiration to do that. So I think it'd be really lovely to stay in touch and hear your
Absolutely.
story.
Yeah.
But is there any final bits of wisdom or advice that you'd say or offer people if they are considering a tree change?
Honestly, just do it. My life motto now is just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. Because in 6 months from you making that huge step in your life, you're going to be like, wow, like I did that. I am that person that just did it. Whereas if you're in this constant rut in your life where you're stuck and you don't know how to change and you don't know where to start or you don't know where to go, just pick a place and just go. Like it sounds easy, and don't get me wrong, it is so difficult. But the amount of growth that you get from that change is, you could just, there's nothing better when you sit down and you just sit there and you're like, oh my gosh, like I did that. And I think that's probably the best feeling you could ever feel, other than, I don't know, buying a new car. Like that's exciting, but when you change your life completely, it's just a completely different wow. So just do it.
That sense of self-accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, I think you should be really proud of yourself. You've done an amazing job. And like I said, we look forward to sharing your journey and hearing more in the future. So thank you for sharing with us today.
No worries. Thanks, Laticia.
Thanks.